Oh no! Get out of there, people! Hey, don't die! Hey, you don't need to work. It's not that important. Get out! Hey, get out! Yo, everybody. Generikb here, and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included. So, first and foremost, thank you guys so much for your support on the first episode. I'm glad you guys like this game. I am addicted to it. No lie, last two nights, I find myself laying awake in my bed going, okay, wait a minute, the carbon dioxide is, if I can move the carbon dioxide, well, shouldn't the algae terrariums take care of that? Yeah, it's really, really bad. I'm addicted to this game. You may notice that this is a different map. I'm starting with 3 brand new people, and that is because I actually did I recorded a second episode, and I screwed up so bad that this is a difficult game. I screwed up so bad that everybody was basically suffocating with carbon dioxide. Oxygen overlay? Oh my god, what has happened? Oh no! Get out of there, people! Hey! Don't die! Hey, you don't need to work. It's not that important. Get out! Hey, get out! And I know if you guys are playing this, then you probably are running into the same problems. So I spent hours and hours past couple days sitting there doing a bunch of tests and doing a bunch of like practice worlds and stuff. I think I figured it out. I'm going to show you guys how to get started with your base and how to hopefully eliminate the, what is that sound? That's annoying. Eliminate the carbon dioxide problems and all that stuff that you might run into at the very beginning. It's not so difficult. It just takes a little bit of understanding of the game, okay? I don't claim to be an expert on the game. It's just I've been putting a lot of time into it, and I think I understand at least some of it. All right, so the first rule that we gotta know is the behaviors of gas. So here we have oxygen, and oxygen likes to go towards the top of the map, right? So if you've built out a big long thing like this, oxygen will slowly want to get pushed up to the top. And the reason being is stuff like this, carbon dioxide, likes to go down to the bottom of the map, all right? So the very first thing that we need to do is when we're digging out our stuff, we need to make sure that the gases have enough escape routes so the oxygen can go where we want it and the carbon dioxide can go where we want it, okay? So as we're gonna go, we're just gonna build. Let me introduce you to the crew. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Gammy Fitz, level 7 architect. She's our Meemaw on the thing. We have Dr. Poo Yang, and he does, what do? You are a tinkerer. Yeah. And so he's gonna help build and stuff like that. And then we've got Eva Schmendez. And I think she's like our scientist. Yeah, level 5 scientist. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of digging out. Now you'll notice we probably don't want to dig into this carbon dioxide just yet. We will eventually. And over here it's kind of nasty, but we'll just do a little bit. We'll get like kind of that far with the digging. We'll let them go and do their thing while we're talking. Now this does have some goodness right now, some oxygen and stuff like that. Not the best. You see how this down here is like really kind of snarky? It's really bad. So we're going to actually build. Let's see, how do we want to do it? There's this one 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we'll go like that and build ourselves some ladders, and then up here we'll go another 3 and we'll build some more ladders like that. Okay, and then we will have them go. Ooh, I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, this seems good. All right, so just giving us a little bit of room to breathe. Yeah, literally room to breathe. Okay, let me close these guys out. Okay, because we know all about that. The very first thing that we're gonna need is a toilet, because they're gonna have to go poo somewhere, and that is under plumbing. So we'll give them an outhouse. And as it stands right now, it doesn't really matter too much where we're gonna put this. So I'll just stick it right there for the mo. Now, as we're building this, the other thing I'm gonna do is actually tear out the sides next to it. And the reason being is they can jump over these one block gaps. Okay, I guess we'll get this guy, we'll get that guy. Life will be good. And it allows the gas to flow a little bit more better if we need it. All right? So already, if we look at our, let's pause this for a minute. Already, if we look at our meter, we see there's little bits of carbon dioxide getting done. Eventually, that'll find its way down, and this whole place will be filled up with carbon dioxide because humans, right? We breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. That's how it works. So we'll leave it like that just for a little bit. Let it do its thing. Today we're gonna do two things. We're gonna get our oxygen sorted out. Well, we're gonna do three things, I guess. We're gonna get our research station sorted out. We're going to get our food situation, our oxygen situation sorted out, and then we're gonna get our food situation sorted out. So I tell you what, let me do a little bit of more digging and get us some room to work, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let me slow these guys down a little bit. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm digging out around here, and you notice I've put a little pocket right in this little area, and the reason being, I'm hoping, okay, so it'll do a little bit of dance. This stuff wants to come out really bad, but you see, here's a lot of good oxygen. Eventually, this good oxygen will come out, and the carbon dioxide may come out too, but it'll eventually swim on down in here, and it'll try to find the lowest point available. So we probably will also want to dig those two out. It's gonna come and it'll fling on down, which is good. Now, while we're doing that, yep, sleep it up. I'm not too worried about giving these guys beds or anything quite yet, but we're gonna make a right over here. Seems like a pretty good spot for it. Let's make a research center. So I'm gonna put a generator there, tiny battery. And then right over here on the stations, research station, I'm gonna put a research station right there, and then we need our power. Boom, boom, boom. So those will be the first things that we wanna do. And we're going to, let's quickly figure out who needs to do what now. You see how this is research, right? So I don't want anybody but Eva Schmendez to do research, because she's the smartest tool in the shed right now, right? Brightest bulb on the Christmas tree. So everything else will be pretty good for right now. Kind of would rather, I don't want her doing that. Harvest, sweep. You can build, I guess, right? But that'll be fine for right now. Now, as far as priorities go, I'm going to show you something really interesting about priorities. There's two types of priorities that I figured out. I'm going to set those to 9, and then life will find a way. There's two types of priorities. There's the I want something built or dug out priority, and then there's the I want to work on something priority. And those two are really important because you can screw yourself up. So there's three major rules that we're gonna learn to fix your base up with the oxygen and everything so you don't mess up. First one, like I said, is the gas. Make sure you have gas escape routes, which we're gonna have. I probably, thinking about it, I probably should go ahead, now that we've got this going out, might as well do this. And then the carbon dioxide will go down. I think that's a good little path. So the first one is make sure gas has enough escape routes. That's why we're digging this out here, so more gas can go down and more gas can go up, right? Y'all hungry? And the other one is setting priorities. So we want to, once we get our oxygen and our food built, we want to set the priorities right, so where depending on what you're doing, like you can do your day-to-day, like, hey, I'm gonna I'm gonna dig out stuff, but you want to make sure that oxygen is being supplied and that your food is being supplied. And so we're going to set priorities for that. But that comes in a little bit later. All right, so we have... They're going to build that thing. It's low on power, but that's okay. Let us do some research. And the first thing we're going to do is farming tech because we need the algae terrarium for oxygen. And you notice it says recycles carbon dioxide. Very important, right? And then we're going to get the planter box, which is how we're going to make our first little bit of food. And then the compost is really good. So you hit that guy. Boom. And then, okay, it doesn't have power yet. So we're going to let things run. Somebody is going to be the runner. And I think it's not Ava Schmendez. I think it's... Who's my runner? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Gammy Fitz is the runner. Perfect. So now we can sit there and say, novice research. I always want it to be researched. And that's a good way to just say, keep going, sister, until there's nothing left to research. Boom. So she should... Eva Schmendez. Yes. So now she's going to start going to town. Very important you start doing that as early as possible because that's how you're going to get your oxygen and your food going. But you'll notice, let's slow this down a little bit so they still do a little working. So far, not too shabby. Got a lot of stuff. You notice like all that oxygen or all that carbon dioxide that poofed up here at first. That's because there was like a kind of a vacuum. And so it sat there and it said, oh yeah, we need to, let's push everything up there. But then the carbon dioxide's kind of settled down, and so you've got all this garbage going on. I'm okay with that for right now. It can kind of stay there if it wants. But we'll eventually get it down here, and everything's going to be just fine. All right, so she is tearing this stuff out. Looks like we've got a couple more little things that need to be, like sand is falling and stuff like that. We can go as far as to dig. Let's dig maybe this far out. So we're very lucky that we have a pool of water nearby, but we're gonna set up a system later on where we can actually pipe in water and have a central place for it. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe right here. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure yet. Okay, so, and then, yeah, we're gonna dig this out. And what can we harvest out of this stuff? Anything need to be harvested? Just that guy. A little bit of food. Right, she's going to town. Let's see what it's all about. Let's look at it. We're 6 out of 20. Life is pretty good. Let these guys do a little bit more digging out, and we will get, once this is researched, we can start building the oxygen source, which is the very next thing we need to do. All right, so the research is complete. Farming tech, so we've learned the algae terrarium composter and the planter box. Very nice. We need to pick the next level of research. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say like maybe liquid piping, because then it would seems pretty nice if we could eventually get to like having a manual airlock. That's going to be really, really nice, and a shower so we can keep them all nice and clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that one next, and that's basically all you got to do, because now it's already set up for her to keep doing the novice research. So Bob's your uncle, and we will let them go. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit while they're doing this stuff. Now if you notice, okay, all of this, we've torn this out. All of this carbon dioxide is like hanging out, but it's gonna slowly start trying to find the bottom. And down here, feels to me like this is where I wanna put the first bit of my oxygen generation. And we have learned the algae terrarium. I'm gonna do something like this. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Oh, can't do one there yet. And I can't do one there yet. 1, 2. Because that thing's there. Okay, that's fine. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and we'll do that. For these purposes, you see they've got a priority of 9. I set it up. I'm gonna say, yeah, you guys need to make this instantly. So they're gonna work on both of these guys. What these do is you give them water, and you give them algae, and they will convert carbon dioxide to oxygen. It's very, very nice, and that will be enough for us to maintain oxygen generation. But there's a problem. Okay, so this right here, insufficient resources. We don't have enough water. Boom, boom, boom. Hello, hello. Here we go. Let's start with the prioritization. Let's hit 9. Right now, like I said, we're just using the prioritizations to be like, hey, you really need to get this stuff, like, get it working, right? Let's get going. I think maybe I'll set the rest of these guys up to 8, so they should move over and start working. Oops. They should start, after they finish these, they'll start digging, if they know what's good for them. All right. So this one's pretty simple. All we got to do, all we got to do is sleep. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, let's look at the, yeah, see, the gas is starting to figure out what's going on. It's going down here. Normally that would be a really bad thing, and that's what happened to me in in my last recording. But the fact that we've got these terrariums are going to be put in place is going to fix everything up. We're going to be fine. Don't even worry about it. Okay, come on, wake up. Now for food, I'm going to go ahead and make one of these micro mushers. And let's go ahead and put the power over to it. Ba-doom. That, as soon as, where are y'all at? Oh, okay, so they've already dug that out. That's amazing. So then we can do a little prioritization. I'll sit there and say, this should be 8. Y'all need to work on it. And they're having a little break. I love it. And then they're gonna put this one together. Ta-da! All right. So now these are awaiting materials. They're built, but they're awaiting materials, okay? So now, here's what we have to do. See, but they're set at 5. So the problem with that is if they ever need any type of materials, if they ever need any type of like algae or water, and you have something else as a higher priority than 5, these things won't get fixed. So my suggestion, your oxygen, make it 9. Keep it at 9. So first and foremost, above everything else, they're gonna work and make sure that these guys are taken care of, okay? That is my rule number, my rule number 2. Rule number 1, get you some gas escape routes everywhere. And we're not perfectly done with that quite yet. Still got to do a little bit of that, because this could be a pocket where carbon dioxide gets stuck. Rule number 2, put your algae terrariums at the bottom, because that's where all the carbon dioxide is going to go. They make no sense to put it up on top. There's no carbon dioxide there. Okay? And then rule number 3 is set the priority right. And then Bob's your uncle, man. You are sorted out. So we have to, let's look at our priorities of what we've got. Next thing they've got to do is put this in place. And after that, we're going to do one other thing. Let's put some planter boxes in place. And I'm just going to say planter box, planter box, planter box, planter box. We'll do a little bit of some shoveling over there. So they'll put that in, and then we can put in our, what was that noise? We can put in our seeds as we go. Once I get these set up, it still says insufficient oxygen generation. Maybe I dig that guy, right? And that guy out. Yeah, that might work. Uh-oh. Who not building? Okay, and then we will put in, under oxygen, we'll put in another one. And he's going to take care of those. So we'll have 9 in there. That should be enough, once everything's all said and done, to take care of business. Now, let's pause for a minute. Let's look at our situation. Ooh, 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 I say unto you, check that out. Now we've got a whole lot of breathable oxygen. There's a little bit that's kind of fluffing about down there. That's why we need escape routes. So now I could go down. I'm not exactly sure that's where I even want the ladder. I may bring this out a little bit more and then bring the ladder down. So we've got enough space to where all the carbon dioxide will go down here and get processed by the plants. It's so good. Oh, I'm so glad that I practiced. Really wanted to make sure. Oh, we have to set up some stuff. Let's make some mush. Let's make some bunch. Then, under priority, I would say go ahead and set your food stuff to 8. Okay, so not as high as. Oh, you're set at 8. And you know what? I'm gonna change this one to 7 and this one to 7. So research is important because you want to learn some stuff, but not as important as food. And food is important, but not as important as breathing. It works out so good. All right, fellas, that's gonna do it for me for this episode. I hope that helps you guys out who are struggling, because I know when I was first starting, I was having a really tough time getting all this to work. But if you enjoyed it and you learned something, be sure and drop a like on the video and let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or anything you want to see me do in this world. But that's doing it for me. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take care, brush your hair. I'll see you when I see you. Peace. Brush your hair. Oh.